Hello, Taylor. We're going to discuss Module 4, Relationship Building. I know you haven't gotten a chance to get up to that point, but I thought I'd have it ready and waiting for you when you are. Hi, Taylor. I hope you're doing well. If you need me, remember, I am here for you. My phone number is 757-962-3593. Caution, this is a landline. No text messages are accepted. So if you need me, please call me. I value your success. All right, so what are we going to talk about? Module 4 content. Then we're going to zoom in and inspect Deliverable 4. You can see that it has two parts. First, we'll create a detailed agenda for the day. And second, we'll summarize the events you will hold during the event. The goal is to how to cultivate fair, respectful, and equitable treatment, opportunities, and outcomes for others and oneself. I encourage you to explore and use 5 types of events: training courses, diversity awareness, team building, employee motivation, and sales tools for understanding and communicating. I always encourage you to go inside our course. In this case, go down to Module 4, read all the content, and then watch this recording. Keep an eye on your time. When I took the screenshot, you had 48 days and 13 hours. Of course, you have less time now than what I captured before. So please watch your time. Deliverable 4 has a rather lengthy scenario. What I did is I highlighted some words in there that you should really focus in on. So let's begin at the top. The HR director at your organization has noticed that many of the BDR and sales team representatives do not know each other or appreciate one another's diversity. The HR director thinks this could be a reason for impaired communication and collaboration. Now, jumping ahead, we need to create a fun event. The main objective for the event is to ensure all participants know how to cultivate fair, respectful, and equitable treatment, opportunities, and outcomes for others and oneself. Moving ahead, your job is to create a detailed agenda for the day. Your team building session will last for 8 hours. It starts at 8 a.m. and it ends at 4 p.m. Now, during that time, you need to remember to schedule 2 15-minute breaks in the morning between 8 and noon, and 2 in the afternoon between 1 and 4. Allow your team a 1 hour lunch break between noon and 1. You also need to summarize the events and activities. Each activity should last approximately 30 minutes. During one of your training sessions, you are encouraged to identify at least 3, and I stress that phrase, you'll learn why. But identify at least 3 sales tools. And at the end of the day, you need to schedule a 30-minute wrap-up and sharing session. So that 30-minute wrap-up will start at 3:30 and end promptly at 4. So how do we begin? Probably look at your time constraints. What are you required? What time must you reserve? After you get that figured out, then you can start adding in your different events. You need to write a 2 to 3 page proposal. about the team building retreat using Microsoft Word. It should include a list of the planned events, including the start time and end time, a wrap up and sharing session at the end. You need to summarize each activity that focuses on specific goals, which include cultivating for others and oneself. You will need fairness, respect, equitable treatment, opportunities, and outcomes. And finally, identify at least 3 sales tools. Let's look at the grading rubric. I always like to call your attention to the column A. We thoroughly listed the planned events, showing the scheduled time for each, including start and end times. Number 2, thoroughly summarized each activity, each of the 5 goals, cultivating fairness, respect, equitable treatment, opportunities, and outcomes for others and oneself must be addressed at least once. Criteria number 3, thoroughly identified more than 3 sales tools. Now it says more than, now look at the column B, identified 3 sales tools. So that's why we use the phrase at least 3. If you do the 3, you qualify for a B for that criterion. If you do more than 3, you can qualify for up to 100%. And number 4, we're going to use 2 or more professional resources. We use APA 7th edition format. Please watch your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. All right, like I said previously, this assignment is divided into 2 parts. In part 1, you will create a detailed agenda for the day, and in part 2, you will summarize the events you will hold. So let's look closely for a minute at part 1. We are going to create a detailed agenda for the day. We know the session will last for 8 hours. Can't go over, or we would have to pay all of our employees overtime, and we certainly want that. So our training must go from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have to have 2 15-minute breaks in the morning between 8 and noon, and 2 15-minute breaks in the afternoon between 1 and 4. Everybody gets a lunch break, and we'll take it between noon and 1. Each event will last approximately 30 minutes, and at the end of the day, a 30-minute wrap-up and sharing session will be held. So the 30-minute wrap-up and sharing session will be between 3:30 and 4. Part 2, summarize the events you will hold. Vary your activities to include training courses, diversity awareness, team building activities, employee motivation, sales tools for understanding and communicating. We want to strive for an A, therefore we will identify more than 3 sales tools. You need to list it in a table. And remember, we're using APA 7th edition formatting. So this is an example of an APA table. I'm going to take a minute and look at it. What do you notice? What's bold print? What's lowercase? What's italicized? How many borders or bars do you see? You should see 2 by the title, and then at the bottom of the table, which you can't see in this picture, should be a 3rd bar. But inside the body, we don't have any bars, and that's how you do an APA table. We know we're going to list the start times and the end times. Another thing you might want to look at is the fact that the events column all those events 1 through N, they're on line left, but the start time and the end time are centered. Let's look at this table a little bit closer. What do you see? What's happening? How are tables arranged? What's the note? Also, in this example, you can see all 3 borders or lines, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. You have to have a note, not if it doesn't apply. All right, training courses. Did you know companies willing to invest in sales training are 57% more effective than rival companies that make no such investments? So it pays to continue to train your employees. Just because you graduate with a degree, that does not mean that your learning stops. You must continue to stay current in your field. Here's an example of where you might go to find some free trainings. Remember, at the end of this, I will post links to different sources in the course announcement. Another example, 9 free, which we all like, online classes for managers who care about diversity and inclusion. Free courses. Wow. Can you imagine that there's that many free courses out there waiting for you to use? I'm sure you'll find 1 or 2 that you really like. Diversity. That's another topic we have to address. Now, are we addressing it from equity or equality in the workplace? There is a difference between equity and equality. Look at the picture on the left. Do you see anything different? Although equity and equality sound similar, they are not synonymous. To properly plan for a more equitable workplace, it's important to have a strong understanding of how these terms differ. Equality seeks to provide all employees with access to the same resources, regardless of the pre-existing barriers they may face. This can refer to an equal distribution of money, resources, or opportunity between workers at a similar level. So pause again and look at the picture. Look at the one labeled equality. What do you see? All employees with access to the same resources. But what about equity? Equity is distinct from equality in that it doesn't provide the same resources and opportunities to everyone. With equity, an organization will recognize that each employee has varying access to resources and privileges, and those with less access may need more support in order to take fair advantage of opportunities with any given company. So we can have different resources and we can make it equitable, not equal, but equitable, equity. So if we compare the 2 boxes, we have equality on the left and equity on the right. Look at the level of stands. In equality, everybody is raised the same level. Problem is, they're not all the same height. Look at the guy on the right. He still can't see. Guy on the left, no problem. And the guy in the middle, I can see. Now look at equity. The tall man on the left didn't need to be raised because he could always easily see over the fence. The middle person, well, he needed a little bit of a boost, but not as much boost as the one on the far right. So we used our resources to benefit all people. Diversity awareness exercises. I found some sources. I'll be putting different sources in the course announcements to help you get started. Of course, you do not have to use the resources I find. I just like to help you get a head start so you can complete this deliverable 4 by earning an A. Team building is another area we were supposed to address. I like this video. It's short, but identifies the 4 types of team members you can hire. I encourage you to watch that video. Remember, anytime you see a popcorn icon, that means I'm going to post a video in our course announcements. What are the best team building activities for collaboration and why? You remember why I'm choosing these? And then think about what we talked about in the scenario. What were our goals? So the different items I share with you all tie back to our main objective or our main goal for this assignment. In that article, how important is teamwork? What is team building? Why team building? And the best 25 team building activities. You can see where I'm going. I'm providing multiple possible activities for you, just to give you that head start. There's another site, 31 team building activities your team will actually love. How many times have you gone to a meeting, an event for your office, and had to play games? Did you like them all? Our goal is to find ones that are interesting, because if they're interesting, everybody will want to participate and we will all learn. Top 50 team building games that your employees would love to play. You can find some activities in this site. Another one, employee motivation. What are the steps to improve employee motivation? You can see the steps that are listed at the bottom. Enable autonomy. Give us a little bit of freedom. Believe in your team. Know they have a brain. Know they have the desire to help the company grow. Number 2, recognize effort and achievement. We've worked hard. It would be nice, if nothing else, you at least say, good job, or think. Number 3, be positive. Don't be negative. Don't only focus on the negative, focus on the positive. Difference between positive and negative rewards. Remember what that difference is? Positive rewards motivate the person more than negative. The 4th one, encourage employees to embrace failure. Yes, embrace failure. Why? Because they're more apt to learn from their failure than if they did something right all the time. Wouldn't it be nice for your supervisor to take an objective view, tell you what you did great, and offer suggestions, constructive criticism to help improve your weaknesses? And finally, encourage communication. And that's what this event is all about. We're trying to promote communication within our organization. Can't just stop with one event. We have to keep going, but we have to start someplace. And this is the place we'll start. 499 employee engagement ideas. This is the ultimate cheat sheet your team will love. Again, we're giving you way more than what you need. So you get to pick and choose. Imagine that you are doing this for your company. What would you do in order to help you select the right activity? Why we love employee engagement activities, and you should too. In this article, you will learn 10 reasons why you should invest in employee engagement, 5 quick and easy examples, 5 simple tips, and finally, here's why we love employee engagement activities. Hopefully, you'll find that article helpful. No, you're the one that's been asked to create this agenda, to create this special event day. You have to be motivated before you can motivate the rest of your staff. But everybody's got to get on board. 36 freakishly effective ways to motivate employees in 2024. I try to provide current resources for you because society and people change. So it's always nice to remain on top of the current trends. Don't forget, summarize each activity, including measurable goals and objectives for each event. This is something people forget to do, but focus on it. Measurable goals and objectives. So, what are measurable goals and objectives? We tend to think of them as SMART goals. SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Have you ever written SMART goals? SMART goals may be written for personal use and or professional use. There's our popcorn icon. This is a quick, short video, but it's going to give you examples of each of the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and timely or time bound. Now, the key here is you don't write a sentence for each. You take all these into consideration and write an objective or a goal. But that goal has to have all of these characteristics. So each goal you write must be specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic or relevant, and finally timely or time bound. Different words are used by different people, hence the slash. For example, where it says realistic or relevant, some say realistic, others say relevant. Same thing where you see timely slash time bound. Some say timely, others say time bound. Here's an example: a family SMART goal and a family not so SMART goal. Oh, let's look at the family SMART goal. As a family, we will walk 1 lap around the elementary school playground every Monday through Thursday after school for 1 month. Now, think about the SMART goal. Is this specific? Yes. Why? It's clearly defined. Right, next. Is it measurable? You see a how much or a how many? Yes, you do, right? Is it attainable? Well, we hope so. I'm not expecting to conquer the world overnight, but if we can just get started, one small step. Is it relevant? Yes, you want to keep your family healthy. And finally, is it time based? Does it have a date in there? 1 month, Monday through Thursday. Now, compare that family SMART goal to the family not so SMART goal. As a family, we will make more time to be physically active. Is that specific? No, very general. Is it measurable? Does it have a high, how much or how many? No. Is it attainable? No way, because we really don't know what we have to do to obtain it, right? Is it relevant? It might be, might not be. It's too general. And finally, is it time based? Does it have a time in it? No. You don't say anything like Monday through Thursday or 1 month in there. There's nothing about time. So that's the difference between a smart goal and a not so smart goal. Hitchhiker's Guide, which will provide additional information right, about writing a SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. I'll provide the link to this site and I hope it helps you. Tools. How many tools would we like? How many tools must we do in order to earn an A in that section? Well, we know to earn a B, it has to be at least 3. But if we want to earn an A in that section, it must be more than 3. Thoroughly identified more than 3 sales tools. Something to ponder. What's coming before us? Some statistics. 50% of employees have had at least 1 to 3 hours of virtual meetings per week. 83% of large enterprises and 27.6% of small businesses are most likely to purchase video collaboration applications for their operation. So this is a big need for most companies. Some more eye-opening statistics in 2024. I encourage you to visit that site. Another one, 2024 Business Communication Trends Leaders Need to Know. Perhaps you're not a company leader now, but everybody, perhaps everybody, would like to be a leader at some point in their life. To be a leader, you must know what is expected of you. You must be aware of the trends and how you can plan. I encourage you to visit this. All right, some essential types of team communication tools: messaging, file sharing, video conferencing, document editing, and project management. I'm not sure if you work someplace right now, or if you have, or if you will. Can you reflect based on your past experiences or experiences others have shared with you? What were some of the team communication tools they used? What were some of their favorite ones? What ones didn't really work? 15 collaboration tools for productive teams. Go to that site and learn about more collaboration tools. Hopefully you'll recognize them. Weigh the pros and the cons. Know what works for you and what works for your coworker. 58 best free sales tools. Love it. You know, we're here to make a profit. Our finances might be limited. When we hear the word free, we're more than willing to at least explore. So hopefully some of the free sales tools will help you. 15 best video conferencing applications in 2024. But this is only one company's evaluation. I'm sure if you went to other sites that evaluated, they may not list Ring Central as number one. They may list something else. I encourage you to visit that site. Here's another one. Best video conferencing software at a glance. You use any of those? Have you used any of those? Well, we use Zoom. I'm not a big fan of Microsoft Teams. That's why I don't use it. Half the time, the recording doesn't work, and I have to start the lecture all over again. But every time I use Zoom, I get it the first time. And this is why I use Zoom and not Microsoft Teams. And there we have it. It's a wrap on Module 4. I encourage you to focus on the content in our course, then start working on Deliverable 4. I tried to break things down, give you some tips for success, show you how to create a table, an APA 7th edition table, offered you many possible sites. Remember, you don't have to use those sites. But I'd like to help you get started. And we know we have to address 5 types of events. I shared some of those sources with you. And before I let you go, please strive to have 4 or more sales tools. I wish you success in writing your SMART goals and objectives. Any questions, please, please, please reach out to me. You see my name, my email, and my telephone number. Awesome. Next to office hours, when you need me, I'm here. That's why I don't like to put up office hours. I'm here. Just pick up that phone and call me. It's 757-962-3593. I hope this presentation helps you succeed in Module 4. Thank you for watching.